Good evening from NYChessKids. My name is Saudi. In today's lesson, we will study fork. Fork means weaker piece attacks two stronger pieces. Now, before we start with the lesson, can you please take a piece of paper and a pencil? And I am going to give you approximately 5 seconds for each puzzle. If that's not enough, you can always stop the video and take more time. So let's see the first puzzle. Right? We can move our knight and attack king and a queen at the same time. Okay, I hope you found this move, knight to e5. Knight is attacking king, it's check, and the queen. Of course, king is more important piece, so king cannot be in check, has to move, and then you take the queen. Let's see the next one. Can you play a move with a white bishop and attack king and the knight at the same time? Okay, let's see. Did you find this move? Bishop e5. You are making a check and attacking the knight. Right? This is a fork. And then you take the knight. Now, you see, with a fork, you really don't get a checkmate. You don't win the game, right? But you can win a very strong piece with a fork. Let's see the next one. You have a rook here. Can you find a move that can attack king and the bishop at the same time? Let's see this move together. Rook goes to d8. Look at this. Attacking the king, check, and the bishop. King has to move because cannot be in check. And then you take the bishop. Let's see the puzzle number 4. Here we have a queen. Can you find a move that can attack the king and the rook at the same time? Okay, did you find this move, queen d8? This is the correct move because here you are taking the king. King has to move and then you take the rook. I hope you did not play a move like queen h5 or queen a1. That's what I see sometimes in our chess lessons. Kids would suggest and say, hey, play queen h5. But this is not a good fork, right? Here you are losing the queen because the black rook can capture your queen. So this is the correct move, queen d8. And then we take the rook. Let's go to number 5. Wow, look at, even king can make a fork. How can you play a move here and attack both knight and the bishop? Did you find this move? King c7. Look at this. You are taking both pieces and black is going to lose one of them. Right? And we take the bishop. Did you know that black cannot win this game with a king and a knight against king? The knight is not powerful enough to help the king to win this game. So this game is a draw. Let's go to number 6. How can you make a fork here? Wow, look at this. Even pawn can make a fork. We push the pawn and we are taking both knights. We are going to win one of them. And again, the game is a draw because king and a knight cannot win against king. Let's see the next one. Okay, here we have more pieces, but I'm sure you can find a fork here. Okay, if you did not find a fork by now, I'm going to give you a little bit help. How about you play a move with a knight? Attack both king and the queen. And that move is knight to e8. You are taking king and the queen, right? Of course, king is more important piece. It has to move, and then you take the queen. Let's see number 8. Here we have a lot of pieces on the chessboard. How can you make a fork here? Okay. I hope you captured the pawn on f7 and made a fork. Sometimes I see the kids would play a move like this and say it's a fork. They are taking a queen and the bishop. But this is not a good fork because black pawns can take you. Look, pawn, pawn on f7, pawn on d7 can take you. So that's not a good fork. You want to play a move like this. Now look at this move. The bishop supports the knight, and you are taking the queen, and at the same time you are taking the rook. Now, what do we know about this pawn here on f7? It is the weakest pawn around the king because it's protected only by the king. You see, the attack on that pawn can happen. So fork. And now, of course, you take the rook. Let's see number 9. You can move your knight and attack king and the queen. And that move is knight to e5. Look at this. Check, and you are attacking the queen. Of course, king has to move because king is not allowed to be in check. And then you take the queen. Let's go to the next one. Oh, wow, this one is very interesting. Let's see if you're going to find this one. You can play a move and make a fork. I'll give you a little bit more time. Okay, enough. Did you find this move? You push the pawn. But what do you take? What piece you gonna take? Queen, rook, bishop, or a knight? Here you take a knight, right? Look at that. And then you take the queen. That's the correct move. Let's see the fork here. Yeah, with a lot of pieces, always ask yourself what's happening on the chessboard. Is there any attack, anything that you can capture for free? Do you see any good fork here? How about I give you help? You can attack king and the rook at the same time. Did you find this move? Knight to c7. This is a fork. You are taking king and the rook. Right, great. And then you take. Let's go to the next one. You can move your knight, attack the king and the rook. And that move is knight e4. All right, look at that. King has to move, and then you take the rook. Okay, let's go to number 13. Play a move with a white queen, attack the rook and the king. Okay, so we have to play here queen to c8. Check. All right, look at this, check. And you are taking the rook. Of course, king has to move, and you take the rook. Let's go to number 14. It is white to move. You play with move with a queen and make a fork. Okay, I'll give you help. You can play a move with a queen, attack the king and the knight. Did you find this move? Queen d5. Look at this. We are taking the king and the knight. And of course, king has to move and we take the knight. Let's see number 15. You can play a move with a queen, attack the king and the rook at the same time. Okay, that move is queen to c6. Fork. Look at this. King is in check and you are taking the rook. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 16. How can you make a fork here? Okay, how about this? You attack the king and the rook at the same time. And the piece you need to use is the queen. Yeah, so let's see this move. You are taking the king, check, and diagonally you are taking the rook. And we take the rook. Let's see number 17. Okay, this one is not easy. Now let me help you with this one. You attack two pawns at the same time with your queen. Okay, let's see what did you find. I know maybe you are thinking about a move like this, right? Because yes, you are taking two pawns. The correct move is queen h5. Now, what do we do with this move? We are taking the pawn on e5 and we are taking the pawn on f7, right? So this is um, a puzzle that probably should not be here because it's a little bit harder than the other puzzles for beginners. But anyway, we found the fork, right? We are taking two pieces, right? Two pawns. And then you take the pawn. Let's see the next one. Fork. You play a move with a white and make a fork. Okay, if you did not find the move by now, I'll give you another hint. You attack the king and the knight at the same time with your queen. So the move is queen to a4. Check, and you are taking the knight on e4, right? Okay, let's see. Of course, the king has to be protected, right? Now, knight block the check, and we take this knight. Let's see the next one. You can play a move and make a fork. Okay, let me give you help. You can attack rook and the bishop at the same time. and use your queen. So the move is queen to e4. Right? You are taking the bishop and you are taking the rook. Of course, rook is more important piece for black, so black moves the rook, but we take the bishop. Okay, let's see the next one. How can we win the rook on b3? You can play a move, make a fork, attack king and the rook. Did you find this move? Queen c2. You're taking a king, check, and then you take the rook. Okay, let's see the next one. This one we had before, right? This one is easy. So we attack the king and the queen. And the move, of course, is knight e5. King has to move, and then you take. Let's see 22. How can you make a fork right now? Here you have to think a lot. Okay, let me give you a little bit help. You attack king and the rook at the same time with your queen. But don't play this move because the rook is going to capture you. You play this one, right? And now you can take the rook. And here we are. Okay, let's go to 23. Play a fork with a queen. Attack the king and the rook at the same time. And that move is queen to g4, right? Look at this. You're attacking the king. King has to move because it's check, and then you take the rook. The next one. You need to play a move and make a fork. You can attack king and the rook with your queen. And the move is queen to d5. Right, look at this. King is attacked and you are taking the rook. King has to move, or see, queen block the check. And of course, we don't take the queen, we take the rook for free. Okay, number 25. How can you win the rook on a2? So you can attack the rook and you can attack the king. Right? So you see the fork happens very often in the chess games. And very often you also have a check. So look, check, and then we take the rook. Number 26. Play a move with a white and make a fork. With a pawn, right? So we push the pawn for one space and we make a fork. We are taking the bishop and we are taking the knight. Now, of course, we take. Can king and a bishop win against the king? What is the answer? Yes or no? correct answer is no. King and a bishop are not powerful enough to win against the king. Ooh, here we have so many pieces, okay? Those puzzles now are a little bit more difficult because you have to see all the chess pieces on the board. So let's try to figure out what's going on. I'll help you a little bit. Look, you have a queen and a rook. They support each other right on this line. And then you have this pawn here. Do you see the fork now? Pawn can go forward and attack queen and the bishop. Now pay attention. This pawn is supported with two pieces, queen and the rook. So if black takes this pawn, then you can capture that piece, right? Bishop or a queen. So let's see what happened here. Bishop capture. Now we can take it, right? Because the queen has a support. The rook is supporting the, the queen. And you won the piece. Look, the outcome of this fork combination is you won the piece. Let's see number 28. Do you see the fork here? Okay, how can you attack king and the queen? With a pawn. So this is the move, right? We push the pawn and we are taking both king and the queen. So we are going to win the queen with this fork. And now we can take the queen because the rook supports the queen. Right? Let's see 29. Play a move and make a fork. You are white. So the correct move is pawn to d4. You are taking bishop and you are taking the knight. Now what's also important is that this pawn is protected by our rook. See, now we can take the bishop. We won the piece. Let's see the next one. Play a move and make a fork. Okay, so we have bishop on c5 and queen on a5. So those two pieces can be forked. How do we attack both of them? We have to play a move b4. Look, our pawn on b4 is supported with a pawn on a3. So two pieces are attacked, queen and the bishop. Fork. Now, if black takes, that of course we have to take. Now look at this. Knight is forking the queen and the rook. So we have to take this knight. And what's the outcome here? Look, we won knight for 2 pawns. We know that knight is 3 pawns, right? So we won 1 pawn. That's great, right? Let's see the next one. How can you make a fork here? Okay, I'll give you help. You can attack rook and the knight. Now you know, right? So you play this move e5 and you attack both of them. And now you take the knight. Let's see the next one. How can we make a fork here? Pay attention to all your chess pieces. There are so many of them. If you are thinking about this move, this is really not a good fork. You are taking the rook and the knight, but the knight, the black knight, can take you. So that's not a fork. Has to be better way. Help. You can attack queen and the rook at the same time. And the move is pawn to g3. Now, of course, queen has to move. Queen is more important piece, and then you take the rook. Let's see to next one. Fork. It is white to move, and you make a fork. Okay, let me give you help. You can attack king and the rook at the same time. So you have to play bishop to c4. Look at this. Check. And you are taking the rook. So we take the rook. Let's go to number 34. Again, a lot of chess pieces on the board. Try to explain yourself what's happening, right? What pieces can you attack? Okay, now help. You can attack king and the queen. And that move is rook to e4. Check, and you are taking the queen. And of course now you can take with a knight or with a queen. Okay, let's see the number 35. Make a fork with a black. You are black here. You need to move one of your pieces and make a fork. Okay, help. You can move the bishop and make a fork. And that move is bishop to c5. Look at this. On diagonal, you are taking the king and the rook. So king has to move, and you take the rook. And let's see, I think this is the last one, number 36. Pay attention to all your chess pieces. Look, you have a rook, and you have a bishop. Those are the two pieces that can help you to make a fork. Okay, if you didn't find by now, you can attack queen and the rook at the same time. So I think you can figure this out, right? Bishop g7 is the move. Now pay attention. This bishop is protected by the rook on g3. So if the queen takes the bishop, rook can take the queen. So queen here decided to run away. And of course, now you cannot take the rook right away because this queen is attacking the queen on d2, right? So this fork not going to work immediately. We have to be patient. So what can we do here? We could trade the queen, right? And then we take the rook. And that's how we win the material. Now, you see, with a fork, you don't win the game immediately. There is no checkmate with a fork. But Fork happens in nearly every game, so you can win the piece, strong piece like a queen or a rook, knight, bishop, right? So that's what you do with a fork. Hey kids, I hope you enjoyed learning with me fork. Um, we are going to do fork again in other lessons, probably a little bit harder puzzles. But right now, enjoy this one, right? So what you can do, you can do this study one more time on your own, right? You can print the PDF file, right? You can print double-sided and then do the same exercise on the paper, right? So I would do it on the computer and on the paper one more time on your own. Okay, have a good night and I'll see you in our next lesson. Bye bye, kids.